McGraw.
Tell me about that, because that for me really surprised me with that whole story.
Yeah, so I took over the program, like I said, in 2008, spring of 2018, and I was talking to somebody, I can't remember who, and they're like, do you read? And I was like, yeah, I like to read. They're like, well, you need to read the book Better Than I Found It by Coach McGraw, and it just kind of talks about what he did at OSU and, you know, stuff that he's doing at Baylor and his little bit of time at Alabama.
Yeah.
I said, okay, you know, and so I read it. It took me like 5 days. You know, it's an easy read. And it just kind of talks about stories. And honestly, it kind of talks about his practice plan, how he qualifies.
It's a coaching Bible.
It really
right?
is a coaching book, and for lack of better words.
Yeah.
So I read it, and I emailed him. I'm pretty sure his email is actually in the book, if I remember correctly. So I'm like, I'll email him and just see. And I mean, 3 hours later, even when he's back, he's like, look, I got some recruiting. I emailed him in March, I think. He said, look, we got obviously a season going on, and I'm going to be out of town. How does June 8th sound? I'm like, shoot, yeah, I can make it June 8th. And he said, can you be in Waco by 8? I said, yeah. I mean, Waco was 5 hours from Oklahoma City. So me and my assistant at the time woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and hit the road, got there at 8. And I'm thinking, you know, he's going to show us a tour and give us a couple hours. Yeah. We didn't leave Waco until like 6 o'clock that night. It was just everything that he could think of, and you know, between what they did for workouts, you know, how he recruited, how he treated his players, how he, you know, did practice, how he encouraged his players, how he, you know, would push his players, whatever it was, you know. And he just broke it all down. And, you know, I'm over there. My hand hurt for like a week because I just wrote everything down that he had to say. And I just kind of took that back. And I was like, look, if this guy can do it at this level, why can't I do it at the lower level? So I kind of just took what he said and did the same thing, you know. Yeah. And it was great. Still fairly close with McGraw today. You know, he'll text you from time to time, good tournament. Or you know, when we made nationals, he congratulated us. Yeah. You know, because I went and saw McGraw the summer after my first year. Yeah. Just finished 5th in conference. And I mean,
treading water.
Oh, man. Right. I don't even know if we were treading at that point. I think we were drowning, you know, so it was just, and I think that was kind of the kicky start of where the program kind of got to where it is today even. Yeah. So. Yeah,
because you can't, even when you go to recruiting, right? How do you recruit people to a program that's an unknown program, especially when you want to build better players and get better players? It kind of reminded me of like the whole Moneyball scenario where you're like, I'm not going to get the elite players because they're just not going to come here and I don't have the dollars to fight with them, you know, the bigger universities. But actually it goes back to having a coaching plan and then, you know, building them up to be, you know, you're taking risks.
No, that, and anything I can take from the NAI level to now, I think starting where I did helps me. Yeah. Because not only financially, if I ever become a head coach at the Division I level or anywhere else again, you know, at this level, obviously there's more money than the NAI level. Yeah. So anywhere I'm at, it taught me to pinch pennies, how to raise money, how to fundraise, how to pinch pennies, how to make a budget, how to stick with a budget. And then like you were saying, the main thing that I got is how to develop players because you're not getting the best. Right. So it taught me how to develop players, take what they have and make them better. You know, obviously they have to work for it. They have to want it. It's just like, you know, somebody being overweight and wanting to lose weight. Yeah, you can make them work out, but you can't control what they're eating at home. Right. Same thing where I was. Like, I can give them what it takes to be better, but, you know, so they had to buy in, you know. And then, you know, I'd say after my second or third year, the recruiting gets easier. Much easier. You know, once you start getting better, it gets easier. You know, you call a kid, hey, we're the top 25 in the nation. Well, they're going to listen. Imagine calling a pretty good player and saying, hey, we're 118th in the nation. Right. And then all of a sudden you got, I think he hung up on me, you know. So, but it got easier after that. And then, you don't change, you adapt, you know. So you practices, I would say, adapted from my first year to my last year at SU, and even here at ORU, because you got to adapt to your players. Well, I mean, I broke it down the basics my first year because a lot of kids just didn't even know the basics. You had kids from the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, that had never had a swing coach. They were just raw talent. So if you broke it down to them, that's how it, you know, they'd get better that way to where in the last year the kids could come in and actually hit a flop shot. Yeah. So you didn't have to teach them how to hit a flop shot anymore. So you had to evolve practice to where it made them improve.